Hey Elsie, how you going, mate? Welcome in. We're just getting set up. We're gonna jump back in the lobby, give you guys something to watch while I just finish getting set up. Are you racing tonight, buddy? Got Q1 starting in about 10 minutes, and then we'll move on to Q2 as per normal. You're not racing tonight? You're just gonna sit in the lobby? Yeah, should be right. We're not totally full yet. We've got Maddie Smacker coming in now. Go out and have a look at how they're looking on track at the moment. Don't need to display. Water arrow here. Just going to take a look at the track. Final turn that is coming around here, and you can cut this pretty close to the concrete, which he does, brings it out wide to the wall, sweeps to the left slowly, and then you're going to want to set yourself up for the straight here. See what he gets up to, you can see it on the dash there. Out on track a bit before, and that's a bit hard to manage that corner as he's jumped off track. But anyway, you've got an infield section. Steve-O's coming through at the moment. Did you spend most of your time on the front? Comes into this kind of open right hairpin here, and then a tricky double left-hand corner, and then one back in. See him get a bit loose there. Currently fastest lap for 1:11.351. About 5 minutes away from qualifying now. Steve-O's got a 1:12 on our board here. Goji's done a 13 flat. Rucky on track, our teammate here, Juice Motorsport. Myself and Rucky. And 203B. Thank you, Glenn. Thanks for the follow, man. How you going? Got Mr. Smacker out there in the newer model Honda, the same as what Goju and Banana are driving. Nova also in the same model. Kiko for the factory forward team of the series. Hey Qantas, how you going, mate? Welcome in. You caught us just before qualifying. Still a few moments away. Kenty, how you going, mate? Welcome in. You are racing tonight, buddy? This is the Q1 session that we got going on, and then we'll have the Q2 just after. We're only moments away from Q1. Have the Brocky sim racing duo of Foz and Brocky now showing themselves, the dominant force in the series so far. Foz also dominating Sector 1 Division 1 with 2 podiums in the first 2 rounds. Striking livery they've got. Same theme across most of their cars, and it's fucking stands out on track. So Fozzie has done a 1 minute 11 flat. First flying lap out of the gates, and he's already put a benchmark time down. Brocky's into the 10s. So we have a Brocky Sim Racing 1-2 potentially on the cards for qualifying. It starts, well, it's meant to start now. So we'll 30-second call. We'll watch the qualifying, and then we'll potentially see about jumping in for Q2. Alright, welcome in guys, we've got 15 people in here. We are just about to kick off qualifying. It is just starting now. They're releasing them from the pit boxes in seconds. We've got Froz and Brocky in here. Snorksy, Stevo, Sways, Macanova, Goju, Hippo, Matty Smacker, Rucky, just to name a few, all are about to come out on track and throw down for their Q1 session to determine what race they're going into. The Blue Moon circuit, the Infield A layout. So it's not the oval, there's a little bit of a track involved in this. It's not just your straight oval track. So everyone's sorting themselves out space-wise, giving themselves room, letting other drivers pass. Well done. Great etiquette there. Just settling themselves out the back here. There's Goju, teammates with Banana, striking livery there. Yeah, set a decent time in qualifying. In the practice session. So can he set a decent time in qualifying? First little group that's going to get around the track here. So you got Rucky, real up there close to Fozzie. Slipstream will be important here if you can hook onto someone and get a bit of tow. So we see Steve-O make his mistake behind. Rucky just taps the wall. A few of them tap the wall there. If you can get a good tow around the track, you can get a good time. So we see the benchmark is a 1 minute 11.5 set by Fozzie. That first lap. Rocky's already almost 8/10 quicker on his flying out lap. Ando doing 11.9, Snorksy's done an 11.7. See, Foz has gone purple in this first sector. It's going to take a lap or two before everyone kind of settles in. See what lap 2 brings. Sways comes into the pits for a reset. Aussie sets a very similar time to his teammate. Rucky sets a 12.3. Betters his time. Currently 2 seconds off the fastest lap at the moment. He's sitting 9th in the qualifying standings. We are about halfway through our Q1 session now. So we've got Rocky with a 1 minute 10.7. Fozzie's also done a 1 minute 10.7. We've got Banana about 6.5 tenths behind those two. And Snorksy's currently sitting in 4th in the timing so far, but it's still his early days, still a few more minutes left. Got about 5 minutes remaining. currently fifth. Has he got any improvement in this lap? Just watch as he goes across the line here. No improvement. See Banana just tag that ball there. The pits. This will give us a good idea of how long these pit stops are. There will be pit stops tonight. The question is, do some get away on a one stop, or is it going to have to be a two stops thrown in there? Plus it is heavy damage as well. With all these concrete barriers around in that infield section, it can catch you out in that transition around turn one. You'll see quite a lot of pit stops tonight. A bit of strategy in play too. Alright, we've got 4 minutes left, so we'll just quickly run through the standings. We got Rocky, who's 1 minute 10.7. He's also just gone purple here, and we'll just stay on board with him as he comes around the last corner, using every millimetre of the track. Goes purple, he betters his time by just under half a 10, so he's a 1 minute 10.6 now. Fozzie with a 1 minute 10.7 as his best time. So two teammates running within a tenth of each other, so a very consistent and a very dangerous team. They have dominated this season so far. The question was, did this track bring the front wheel drivers back into contention? It's been dominated by the Subaru drivers at the moment. As we see, we do have Banana very close behind on time. So about 2.5 minutes left. Ando betters Banana just. You've got Ando 6/10 now behind the Brocky Sim Racing team as the next fastest cars on track, and they are the front wheel drive cars of Ando and Banana, very close together on time. Snorksy's down there too. He's in another front wheel drive car. So I think the question everyone wanted answered is getting answered now. There is speed in these front wheel drives, and they can keep up with the all wheel drives. So it'll be very interesting whether tyre wear factors come into consideration. If they have to do one stops or two stops, how they look on their fuel, etc. It'll be very interesting to see if we can get a front wheel drive to win. There's Steve-O's there as well in his little AMG. He's now 9/10 off the fastest lap set by Brocky at the moment. Just over a minute remaining. Goju's currently 1.6 off. No improvement. We see currently 2.3 seconds off the pace. Can we see an improvement on his lap time here on this lap? He just touches the wall there, sends it a bit too hard. McNova betters his time. Currently sitting in 14. Not a great qualifying session for him so far. Senna all the way down the back. that's qualifying over, guys. Still got some out there on a hot lap. I think Banana's one of the last couple of cars on track, so we'll just finish our lap with him. Currently sitting in third, almost 7.5 tenths off the fastest lap there of Brocky, who cracked into the 1 minute 10.4s. Absolutely insane, well done. Comes around the last corner now. Can he better his time at all? Just misses out on improving. Still third for this Q1 session, very good. Ando can't improve. So Ando and Banana with very strong times there for the front wheel drive cars. We'll just take a look at your standings. And while we'll do that, we'll invite Giffo over in a moment. So Brocky was first with a 1 minute 10.4, followed by Fozzie only a tenth off, and then about 7 tenths back from that is Banana and Ando. Steve-O's not too far behind them. Snorksy very close to Steve-O's time, and then it's about another 5-6 tenths back to Rucky. So there are your results so far. We're going to jump across to Giffo chat. Yeah, so very interesting there. Hello.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. So, second session's on now. If you didn't run a time in that first session, jump into this one and set a time, and we'll sort out race 1 and 2 for this evening.
So how was that qualifying session for you?
Shithouse. Gotta love driving a Ford. No good.
What have we got in here now? We got Jishi's in here, Niffy's in here, Philo's in here. So we're starting to sift in now.
Alright, so you're doing this session Friday?
I'm actually going to do a full broadcast. I'm not going to race.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool, no dramas. So this session will begin at 7:47. So if anyone else is coming, you got till 7:47 to jump in to have a crack at the pre-quali and a chance to make race 1.
It's got water arrows in now. There's only a few extra in tonight.
Yep, be a small race 2 by the looks of things. So.
Hey Matt Smacker, how you going, man? Aussie says good luck. So we got Jishi in this one. We got Niffy got Water Arrow, got Philo.
We got about a minute till we kick this one off, guys.
1 minute call, ladies and gentlemen. You're not confident in the AMG after the update anymore, Aussie? Is it just the AMG or is it your wheel? Because all the wheels are starting to feel a bit different by what we've been discussing about the update. But I'm sure you could ask in the chat and someone would help you out with understanding how to drive the car under these physics now. We've got a couple of AMG drivers in Water Arrow and Stevo, I believe. Alright, Q2 is underway. If you have not made it in and you still want to race, there will be plenty of room in race 2 tonight. So just let us know in the chat. We'll get you into race 2.
I'm going to release a chocolate hostage. I'll be back.
Alright, here we go. So we got Niffy leading them out at the moment. Or Jishi actually leading them out at the moment. Water Arrow, Philo. So, a very small race 2 tonight. Might see a few other people show up. As I said, if anyone wants to race, there'll be space in race 2. Just let us know. It's just the AMG, Aussie. I'm sure someone will help you out with it. If you are to ask in the TCR channel, I'm sure the other Mercedes drivers would help band together with you, and you just have to teach him how to be a tyre whisperer like you've been. Alright, Philo's just started his first flying lap after his out lap. We'll have Water Arrow about to begin his 2. So that means they're all on their first flying lap. So qualifying is well and truly underway now. We have 8 minutes remaining. These distinct cars are very pretty, aren't they? Hey Steve-O, welcome in. Yeah, Aussie, it's not that bad. You see, I'm sure Steve-O will help you out. If you are to show him your tune, he would possibly tell you a few things that you could change. Yeah, I know, Rocky. I got out there in the initial practice session before Q1. And I mean, the Subaru's alright in the straights, but it feels like it's not alright everywhere else. But yeah, I think after round 2, I was like, oh, we should have picked a front wheel drive. So we've learned our lesson for next time. So Niffy has set the bar at the moment with a 1 minute 10.8. That will definitely be of race 1 time. So we've already seen Niff qualify for race 1 tonight. Jishi, he's not that far behind with 11.3, so he's already qualified for a race 1 tonight. I'm not sure exactly where the cutoff would be, but we've got a 1 minute 12.1 from Philo here, so he's almost guaranteed. I think if he gets into the 11s, it'll be well and truly guaranteed. We haven't heard the numbers yet of what we exactly think it's going to be. I reckon a mid 1 minute 12. Let's see, Philo's gone 2/10 quicker, so he is looking to get into the 11s as he scrapes the wall there on exit, coming around onto the final straight. Can he improve? And he does, only just. The scrape cost him a little bit. He was 2/10 up. Rucky him. Yeah. No, I think we've learned our lesson. The next time we're deciding a car on a series and we suggest a four-wheel drive to each other over a front-wheel drive, I think we need to remind each other about this conversation we had. Alright, Water Arrow, he's done a 1 minute 12.6. Don't know if that's good enough for race 1 or not. I think it could be, if he improves a few tenths, he could be guaranteed into it, closer to a 1 minute 12.1. So if you can get half a second. See, he's got Chin on the side of his car. Water Arrow is well known in the Street2Track community as Chalky Chin. Absolutely sending it through the final sector there. Coming across to the line. His Philo's improved. He's just done a 1 minute 11.5. Very difficult there. As you see, he's done well to hold the control, but it's a very difficult entry into turn 1 where you come down, it's a left-hander, and as it goes down, you change surfaces and change gradient on the banking, and it just bounces and unsettles the car. So that's one big key into getting your lap times down and your race right tonight, is mastering turn 1. And this double left-hander as well, getting this one right. In this last corner here, you can come very close to that concrete barrier without getting a penalty. It's all about keeping it off the wall there, as we see Water Arrow just scrape the wall there. If you can cut that one and keep it off the wall, you can find yourself, if you get those 3 things right, you can get this track pretty down pat. There you go, Aussie. If you are watching, if you are listening, Steve-O has put a tune in the TCR channel. He says it's rough, but it's where it should be in the ballpark. So maybe if you're on or near your console, jump on, throw that tune on, have a few laps, and then decide whether you want to race it or not. So it looks like Niffy's in the pits. It looks like he has not improved on that initial 1 minute 10.8 that he set. That's still a very strong time. That's going to see him in the top few spots. If he can replicate that in race 1. It's Water Arrow's just a little bit down on his time. Gets that exit perfect though. Hey MacNova, how you going, mate? This will be a good race, and tonight we are broadcasting both race 1 and race 2 with you. I'm sitting out this one so I can watch. It's good to watch. No, there is great action here at TCR, and this will be a very interesting round. I think it's going to be 2 strategies here at play. It is 35 laps, I believe. I think I read. Correct me if I'm wrong. 35 laps, and I think it's going to be 2 stops for most, potential 1 stops for a few. And with that time model as well, it'll be interesting because we've noticed that there's been a big drop off in times once they get to a certain point. It's going to be all about your front tyres this race. mainly your front right tyre. So if you can look after that and your fuel, it's a potential one stop. Otherwise, I think it's going to be a two stop for everyone.
So we can give an update now on the qualifying situation, and what it is these 4 cars have gone quicker than the slowest 4 in the previous session. That means that it will be Brucey, G Mackie, Giffo and Senna in race 2 this evening so far, and anyone else that comes along will be joining in for that one.
Well, question is me broadcasting and taking up a spot and not being included in the top 15 counted? Are you doing a top 14 instead if you're going to
No,
be in race 1? Or?
it'll be a top 15, and you will. I think what we'll do is we'll get you to host the lobby Friday.
Yeah, I'll
I think
host
that's
and
the
save
best.
and share the replay, etc.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you'll host race 1, and then I can fire up the race 2 when that's completed. So pretty much this will be the lobby settings. I believe we're going to go to a 2-minute qualifying session with a 80-second overlay.
And this is the race settings, isn't it? This lobby?
No, it's not, but I will change it over before I close this lobby down.
Yeah.
So you can just save them and go bang.
Alright, so you heard that. These 4 have gone quicker than the previous qualifying session's bottom 4, so your top 15 will include Nif, Geesh, Philo and Water Arrow. And if he improves, he does a 1 minute 10.6 as his time, and then you've got Jishi here, he's done a 1 minute 10.9, so there's another 2 drivers in the 10s, Philo with a 1 minute 11.425, and Water Arrow with a 1 minute 12 flat, all qualify for race 1 tonight. Well done.
So what's going to happen, guys, in case you didn't hear it already, is Friday is going to host race 1 this evening. He'll be in a different lobby to this. The race 2 runners are Brucey, Mackie, Giffo and Senna. I'm just going to change this over to the settings for Friday so he can save that and open up a lobby for you guys. So we'll just get that done now. And as you know, it's all a one-shot quali in the race for the race. So what we'll do is run a 2-minute quali with 100 seconds overlay. So no one should get a second lap. It should work pretty well. All right. So if you wanted to save them Friday, that's the correct settings for the race. And you can head on over and create a new lobby, mate.
No worries.
Let me know once you've saved them and I'll close it down.
Yeah, I've just saved them.
All right. Now I'll jump into your room until it's almost filled up, just so they can join through me if they don't have you as a friend, and then I'll exit when the last slot is coming. So, and then once this is completed, guys, race 2 should be on, at a guess, say about 50 minutes, and that'll be Brucey, Mackie, myself and Senna, and anyone else who comes along during the broadcast that feels that they want to have a crack. So Friday's got the lobby up now for race 1.
Alright, lobby is up. See them all start shuffling in.
So in this lobby we should have Brocky, Foz, Banana, Ando, Stevo, Snorksel, Ruckus, Goju, MacNova, Bradley Point, Mats Macca, Geesh, Nif, Arrow, and Philo. And I'm just double checking. Because we're going to fill this. This will come up and then I'll jump out. I'm going to head out now, so
Yep.
you can get your final 2 spots in.
Aussie
Do you
says
mind
he's
chucking
gonna
up
join race 2.
Who's going to join in race 2?
Aussie.
Aussie,
So that's
yeah.
5 of you now. Yep.
Do you mind chucking up a share screen? Is that a bit easier? And then I can see what you're seeing and we can commentate on the same thing.
Yes.
Rather than me...
I just do that in our party chat, right?
Yeah, rather than me going, check out this dude. And then you're scrolling back through the race and we're all out of sync. Fuck.
Is that it?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
I'm watching what you're seeing now. And once everyone's ticked in, we are good to send this session. You got everyone ticked in? We're still missing. We're still waiting for one to tick in, I believe.
Just waiting on
Just
Water
on
Arrow
Water
to tick
Arrow.
in.
If you can tick in, we can get this show on the road. The quicker you tick in, the quicker I can get to bed after race 2. And rush back to finish what I was doing before. There we go. Good luck, guys. We're going to send this session. We're ready to go. So we'll kick that off now. And then after this one's done, just remember you've got time to spread out. There's enough overlay on this. So as long as you get to the line and start your lap before the 2-minute timer runs out, you will complete your lap. So...
Matty Smacker says it's a first for him, getting into race 1. No, well done, mate. Let's see them all start to shuffle out the pits. They'll all spread out a bit, but I reckon most of them will try and slip straight. I think they'll spread out just enough to still gain that advantage. Like Rocky, Stevo and Sways are your top 3 out there. They're going to set their first times out of everyone else. Giving each other a bit of decent space there too, so well done. And then behind them, Rocky's pretty close to Geesh there, so he's going to be looking for a tow. Let's see what they've got. One-shot quali begins now. They've all completed that. They're all just about to complete their out laps. They're all just starting their hot laps now. It's very nerve-wracking, this one-shot quali. There's 2 ways to go about it. You can sit there and do like a race lap and guarantee to start where you think you're going to start, or you can just go balls to the wall and push and see if you can get right up there with it.
Yeah, very interesting this one. The timer's out, so I believe everyone's actually started their lap now. Your mic is flicking around a bit, Friday. I think.
Well, Matty Smacker out the back has just started his flying lap, and he's got some damage there. So it looks like he's going to be starting from towards the back. Not ideal, but it is a grid start, so don't lose that
Did
much
see
time.
one driver pick up a penalty on that lap too, I believe. Might have been Geesh, I believe, picked up a penalty. May have served it. He's down in 8th. That suggests he probably did pick up a penalty with a 1 minute
about
15.
5 seconds off the fastest lap there, so something did happen to him in that lap there, but we got Fozzie and Brocky as your top two there, and then Niffy in third, Stevo in fourth, and Rucky fifth. All in the four-wheel drive class, and then Ando right on Rucky's heels there on qualifying time. So the best of the front-wheel drives are just over a second behind the best of the all-wheel drives tonight.
Did you just want to chuck in chat that we'll start at 10 past? Start at 8:10. So if you've got to go release a chocolate hostage, go for a leak, you got till 10 past 8 to do it, guys, and we'll start bang on at 10 past 8. Obviously, if there was any incidents in that qualifying session, send them through to myself. I'm not exactly sure what happened with Geesh's lap there, but an impressive time from the two BSR drivers.
Yeah, very impressive. They are a very hard pair to compete with, aren't they? When they team up together, it's you've lost hope. But interesting there, we had Banana and Ando very close together in their initial qualifying session, and they are very close together again. Still the fastest two all-wheel drive cars there.
And be sure to see Geesh. I think he'll make a run through the pack in this race, so look out for him during the race.
Who's your money on, Giffo? Who you think's going to get the win?
I think
in each class.
I think Fozzie is going to be hard to beat here, but team orders might say that Brocky could win this one, if there is such a thing, multi-21. And I reckon that we might see Banana for the win in the front-wheel drive class. Could be interesting. He's got pace, Banana, but he hasn't had the most consistent run this season. So
yeah, it is very hard to not put money on a Banana, is it?
But Geesh could make a run. He could get through the pack. He could win the front wheel drive class. It's definitely
It's a long
possible.
race. It's 35 laps, so there is going to be a bit of strategy involved. Interesting to see who does
yeah,
what.
we're just about ready to kick off Black Friday. So there we go, 10 past 8. Good luck. This should be a watch.
Is the mic problem fixed? I noticed Johnny Citizen just mentioned in chat.
It's a bit better Friday. Yeah, it was chopping in and out before.
Right.
So I think we're on. I think the guys are taking off now.
And they're off. See all those four-wheel drive cars absolutely annihilate those front-wheel drives, take off.
Very bouncy, those BSR cars, aren't they? Oh, what's happened down the back? We've had an off. Who's come off? A water arrow.
Yeah.
What is going on there?
So it looks like a bit of hip and shoulder there into turn one, as the water arrow has been the victim of that. don't know whether that's worth stewarding or not, or whether that's just a bit of hip and shoulder into turn one.
Something we will look at after the race, I feel, with that one.
So you've still got Rocky leading them out at the moment. Fozzie's leading them out at the moment with Rocky in second, Niffy in third. Got Steve, and then Rocky is about to serve a half-second penalty. So he's going to fall victim to Sways and possibly Snorksy now. Snorksy gets the overtake done there. Rocky serving the pen. He's dropped back to 7th. Got Ando back in 8th at the moment. Philo's behind him. McNova in 10th. You got Matty Smacker up to 11th. Gishi's up to 12th after starting dead last. We've got Water Arrow, who's managed to recover a position because we've got Banana and Goju in 14th and 15th. So Goju's had an issue as well. He's well off the pack. Banana's had an issue. He's right at the back there in 14th. So Banana and Ando were the best of the front-wheel drive cars, and now you've got Snorksy in 4th.
I'm not sure exactly what's happening here. The two BSR cars are slowing. This is very strange. I'm not sure what's happening here. They have backed right off, haven't they? Oh, the Brocky's got damage. What about Fozzie? No damage from Foz.
Fozzie hasn't got damage, so we'll just go through the field at the moment. They just complete their second lap. So Nippy's managed to come out in first for some reason. We're not entirely sure. Steve-O with a 1 second pen behind him. They both got no damage. Sways is now in third with Snorksy. Takes him down the inside of T1 there for third. Sways is in fourth, and you've got Rucky on the back of those two in fifth here. Ando in sixth at the moment.
Philo in the wall.
And no damage suffered. McNova in 8th, Gishi in 9th, Bloody Smacker in 10th, Banana in 11th, Water Arrow in 12th with rear end damage there, so he's the first of the damaged cars.
The two BSR cars have come in, they've repaired some damage, and it looks like Goju's been in as well for a damage repair, and he's lapping around at the back there, so not entirely sure what happened between the two BSR cars, but maybe they had it coming together at the front.
Something's happened, hasn't it? And it's unsettled them. They're normally out and leading, and they're the cars that we try and follow. And they're right down the back with some damage, so will that change their strategy for tonight? Is that an unscheduled pit stop that you'll see them try and make up, or do they have to change plans?
They're definitely going to have their work cut out now.
Go back here, we've got Sways all over the back of Rucky. Rucky was behind him the lap before, so Rucky's made this position up. You see Philo. Yeah, Philo's just been using that wall there. Pretty hard to go at this track 100% and not scrape a wall.
We had a disconnect, I think.
Yes, there's only 14 in the lobby at the moment. Goju is in the pits again with damaged again.
Brocky had a disconnect there, so
we've still got Fozzie here in second last now, and then we've got Goju coming into the pits with damage, so that's another pit stop here for Goju. That's 2 pit stops in 2 laps. So nowhere near ideal, possibly actually worst case scenario for him. So he's now going to shuffle out onto the pit straight, with Niffy coming around not that far behind him. So Goju's on the verge of being lapped already, only 4 or 5 laps into the race. You've got Snorksy now sitting in second, not far behind Niff, so you've got four-wheel drive class in first, front-wheel drive class in second. Then you've got Steve-O here with Rucky slowly chasing him down, then he's got past Sways there. Ando's all the way back here in 6th. Philo's in 7th. Gishi is now in 8th spot, so he was right at the back, wasn't he? Banana's now up to 10th after some early race incident. You've got Water Arrow and Matty Smacker not far behind, and then quite a fair bit back we've got
Fozzie, who's had an early incident that we haven't picked up, but he's on a purple lap at the moment, so the car still has pace in it. And Goju's now on track, about to finish his second out lap. So very unfortunate there for Goju. He's now got a damage-free car. See how that takes him. It's been an interesting mix-up, hasn't it been? If something's happened, the usual suspects aren't out the front anymore.
I'm not sure what's happened there early in the race, and it looks like Rocky may have had a disconnect 4 laps into the race, so it could be anyone's game here now. And Snorksel's doing pretty good for a front-wheel drive. He's right up there, so he'll be putting in some solid laps, we can assure you of that. As Jeesh attempts to make his way back up through the pack. We get past the Nicholas Sways here. Oh, he just gets it stopped in time.
Real close to the back of Ando there under brakes. Jishi definitely on his way back up through the field. You see just behind them, Philo's managed to get past Sways there too. Sways has got a very badly worn front right-hand tyre here, guys. This is what I was talking about earlier, was front tyres are going to cop abuse, especially that right-hand front tyre. I think coming down to having a really good tune is going to help keep your tyre in that optimal operating space before they wear out too much. Sways has now hit that line where he's starting to sacrifice his lap times. We go back up the front here. We've got Steve-O now, he's right up the back and he's Snorksy. He's managed to catch up. Snorksy, the best of the front wheel drive class here. Sitting in second spot overall on track, first in his class. He's now got 2 cars from other classes. About to be right up his clacker. We see Jeesh has now made his way up to 5th as well. He's managed to get the move done on Ando. Jeesh now sitting second in his class, Ando in 3rd. So we've got Niffy, Steve-O and Rucky top 3 for the all-wheel drive category, and Snorksy, Jeesh and Ando top 3 for the front-wheel drive class. So Bananas now managed to make his way back up to 8th after some early incident there. Just got past Sways. McNova's now sitting on the back of Sways here. Water Arrow a few seconds back from that battle there, sitting in 11th. Matty Smacker is in 12th, not far behind. Ozzy's got a fair bit of front right tyre wear as well. In an unusual place for him, it's a double-digit number, sitting in 13th. Goju sitting all the way back in 14th now. He's just been lapped by Niffy. He had a terrible start to his race in the first 5 laps. He had to pit twice for damage. But Steve-O has managed to get past Snorksy now, with Snorksy under pressure from Rucky. Rucky's going to go for an inside move. We all know that Subaru's got a few horsepower in it. It's got a bit more legs than the other cars. She's actually not far behind Snorksy and Rucky ahead now. So Jishi within a couple of seconds of second spot. Starting the race down the back as he just sets a purple first sector there. Got about 2/3 of a tank of fuel. He's used probably just over a third wear on his front right hand tyre at the moment. That's going to be kind of the realm where you start seeing times drop off. See how Rucky's must have made a mistake on the exit as Snorksy has managed to get the inside move done. Rucky right behind him though for that slipstream is going to make an outside move, and now we go 3 wide. So Jishi thinking about making it 3 wide there. Rucky and Snorks are side by side in the turn 1. Jish right there. He's managed to make up a space. Is he going to get Snorksy as well? Snorksy manages to hold it, so that was almost 2 for 1 there for Jishi. Ando's brought himself into the mix of this little battle pack as well. And Philo's hanging around, so we've got a 5-way battle here for 3rd spot. Jishi's just making his presence known, showing the nose. Snorksy with all kinds of pressure on him. All his mirrors are going to show him is a train of cars. Still got Nif in the lead overall with Stevo in 2nd and Snorksy here in 3rd. See, Jish has a very good exit, gets that slipstream, he's going to take advantage of it, go for a move around the outside possibly here into turn 1.
Jish has been on the move, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. He's made his way from last all the way to 3rd spot.
It's going to be interesting to see what's the tyre comparison between Jish and Niffy looking like.
Yeah, so Jishi here has used almost half of his front right-hand tyre, and Niffy's used just over half of the front right-hand tyre. So there is an obvious difference.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the front-wheel drive has actually been using a little less tyre in the hands of Jish.
And as Snorksy's used just as much front tyre as Nif though, Rucky's used even more than the both
It's
of them.
starting
Ando's probably got the best tyre wear out of the whole bunch, top 6 at the
and
moment.
it is starting to heat up in this little battle pack here, definitely. The mix of Civics and WRXs.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? They've all got their strengths and weaknesses, and it looks like the only strength that WRX has is this straight at the moment. Been very hard to pass Rucky in his WRX. But being side by side against all these front wheel drive cars, it looks like he's a bit vulnerable for the rest of the circuit there. Philo's on the outside of Ando here. See just a little tap there between Ando and Snorksy.
They make it through all right.
Yeah, they make it through fine. Very close racing. Ando going for an inside move potentially here. Shows the nose. Grip the front of the car up. Can't make it happen. You can see just up ahead, Jishi started to stretch his legs a little bit over Rucky. And then we've got the battle for 5th here at the moment. Snorksy, Ando and Philo. Banana is now only 7/10 behind this. So these 3 boys were playing, and someone threw a banana at him because here he comes. A massive slipstream off these boys down the straight. So after a bad start, he's now found himself in 8th, inserting himself into a battle for 5th. See, immense pressure there on Snorksy ahead.
Foz is only 20 seconds off the lead here, so if he can pull out a second a lap on the front guys, he could be there at the end too.
Well, we're starting to get into that territory now of tyre strategy. Who pits now and who holds on for another 5 laps. Just go through the field and look, Nif's used almost all of his front right-hand tyre. He's got about 1/4 left on that. Stevo's got 6 seconds behind. He's got very similar tyre wear. Jishi used just over half of his front right-hand tyre now. He has lapped Goju there. been very unfortunate the early parts of this race. You've got Rucky sitting in fourth. He's used almost all of that front right-hand tyre. Not much of that left. And as a few of us have learnt, new update, when they go, they go. Snorksy, he's got just under a third, maybe just on about a third of his front right-hand tyre left. Banana's a bit better than him. Ando's still got half of that front right-hand tyre and half a tank of fuel, so I think if anyone's
He's
one
lost
stop
a few spots there, Ando, in that battle pack, so it'll be interesting to see when we review the race what happened there. But no, very, very close racing in this group here.
I think this
They're all fighting for position. And Foz is just 10 seconds behind. It's a lot, but it's not a lot for Foz. So.
No, it definitely isn't. I think Ando is benefiting here from this little battle pack. If you look at his fuel and tyres, he's only just used over half a tank and about half of his tyres. He could be stretching out a one-stop strategy here. Or at least he's going to keep those tyres in their optimal zone for longer, which means he'll be able to do lower lap times for longer than these guys too. So Fozzie's almost got the front right-hand tyre dead as well.
He went in for the pits, Fozzie, but he didn't take any extra tyres. I don't know what's happened there. So.
Yeah, potentially just fixed some damage and got out as quick as possible. And his Smacker's almost running on a full right-hand red front tyre. McNova's been in the pits already. He's got fresh boots on. He's got half a tank and fresh softs. So he's definitely on the two-stop strategy. Same with Water Arrow, but he's got 3/4 of a tank fuel in his. Sway's 3/4 of a tank. He has been in the pits. Those tyres are looking fresher than you haven't been in. Goju, I don't believe, has pitted there as he's just getting collected by this battle for fifth now.
He's got some damage there, Goju. He's got a bit of damage on his car again as he lets the field go by. He tries to get out of their way there.
So well done on Goju for jumping out of the way. It didn't look like he affected anything. You've got Philo all over the back of Snorks. And then a few cars here trying to take advantage of it in Ando and Banana. Goju's been very, very unlucky this race. He's had a couple of pit stops in the first few laps, and now he's been rolling around with some damage as well. You see Niffy's still out there on some fairly worn tyres. Being 35 laps, you need to get to probably...
Oh, and a spin slides into the corner there. As the race leader approaches him. Surely the race leader, he must be going to go another one and try and make this a one-stop strategy.
I reckon you're going to have to at this point. I reckon the option for the two-stop is now gone. With him just completing his 16th lap, it's probably one more. Come home on 18 laps. Light a fuel load. Phalo's made his way up to fifth here. Jishi is in at the pits. Banana's in the pits, so we've got potentially a couple of cars going for an undercut here.
Seems to be that way. Ruckus is going to struggle this lap. He's not got much front tyre left on the front of that WRX.
No, I think a lot of people out there don't have that much rubber, but Rucky is definitely the worst of the bunch, besides Matty Smacker, who we saw earlier with...
Nobody wants to get caught out on the new tyre wear physics. They really do punish you
if you
towards the end of that tyre.
How much tyres left on Rucky's car is in that dangerous territory now. Tyre's almost fully gone. He'll be really struggling. He's got to come in this lap. Can't go another one on the mate. Will he come in? He's sitting up third, but just had pit stops start happening. You've got Steve-O in the pits ahead. Rucky's coming in now. He's used the whole life of that tyre.
Ando behind him, straight in.
Snorksy's in as well. Jishi has already pitted, so he'll come out ahead of these guys. Banana was in this group of cars that are just pitting now, and he went for the undercut, so he pitted last lap. Just gotta see where he pops out. But then you've got Fozzie, 2.5 behind Banana here, so has he pitted? He has. So Banana was essentially inserted into that battle for 5th. Now, he's got a Fozzie potentially going to be in that battle with him again very soon. They will start shuffling out the pits. So roughly at that halfway mark now. We've got Niffy coming in now, 16 seconds ahead of Philo, who hasn't pitted yet either. So the first person on track at the moment that has pitted is Jishi. See where Jish pops out here. Steve-O's not far behind Jish. If he can gain a few tenths, we'll get in that slipstream range. See Niff and Philo in the pits now. It'll be interesting to see where Jishi pops out after pitting earlier, and these guys going a bit longer as Niff's fueled up to 77%. Is coming out of the pits now. Philo's still in the pits there, so Jishi is now up to second. Not only leading his category, but coming second overall in the race.
He's got 6.3 seconds to Niff here, and we've seen the difference in the tyre wear between these two guys in the first stint. So could Jish have the pace to catch Niff towards the end of this race here? We'll have to wait and see.
Has a front-wheel drive car won this series yet?
A front-wheel drive car has not won a race yet, and look out, we've got Sways here. He's off the track. What's happened there? Ooh.
Struggling. Been struggling a bit. He's picked up some front and rear damage there.
He's had a stack.
So Goju's now made up a place. He's sat in 14th this entire race, or he's sat last place this entire race. And now at the halfway mark, he's managed to get up to 13th. Real unlucky, but at least he's gained a spot, so he's not last. Got Matty Smacker there in 12th. Water Arrow's got some fairly worn out tyres here. I believe he is on the 2-stop strategy. He's already pitted. Snorksy's back down here in 10th. After sitting in 3rd for much of this, for a bit of this race. McNova's carrying a bit of front end damage there. He's sitting right behind Fozzie, so Fozzie is now up to 7th. It's 20 seconds behind Niff. Still got half the race left, so can he do anything? Can he get up there? Philo's now served his pit stop. He's all over the back with Rucky here. Both of them on fairly fresh tyres. Both of them on the 1-stop strategy. So later this stint, if Philo can stick with Rucky, he will have a little bit better tyre there at the end. Ando just ahead of these guys in 4th as we see Philo make an inside move into turn 1 on Rucky. That's Philo up to 5th. Rucky with a switchback move here. And then Philo with a switchback.
Oh! Bit of a bump. Here comes Foz. He's no slouch.
He's up to 6 now.
Recovery drive and a half from Foz here. Down and out in the early stage of the race. Had to pit on lap 1. or two. I can't quite remember. It was very early on.
Within those first few laps, he had to hit him and Rocky pitted, and we were confused. We didn't exactly know why. So Fozzie now is going to drag race Rocky down the straight. He does it. He makes it stick side by side down the whole straight, takes it into turn one, manages to hold it, no mistake on exit. Fozzie is now in the top 5 position. So we've got Niffy in first, Jishi in second, Stevo in third, Ando in fourth. And we've got this little battle here. You've got Fozzie's just made his way up past these guys and he's now in fifth. And you've got Rucky and Philo fighting over 6th spot. We'll go back a little bit too because Banana's not too far off. Yeah, Rucky and Philo. We've got Mac over a few seconds behind. A little bit behind them is Water Arrow and Snorksy. And Smacker's down in 12th place, about 30 seconds off the car ahead of him. Yeah, I did speak on stream before and said he was pretty happy being in race 1. Goju's had a terrible start to his race, but he's kept his head down. He's managed to improve and get a spot over Sway. He's just had as we're just seeing him losing a bit.
Another bingle.
He's had a quite unlucky race there. We'll just have a replay and see what's happened. Having some front left hand damage.
Oh, just lost it on the bump.
He loses it on the bump and he keeps the foot in the accelerator, so tried to hold on to it and just couldn't. Now Steve-O like sways there. We've got Mac Nova in the pits now. So this is when the 2 stoppers are going to start coming in. Also got a little bit of damage there he's just fixing. We'll see him pop out of the pits now. About 80% of fuel and fresh tyres, that'll get him home to the end. Snorksy all the way back in 10th after being in podium contention at the start and leading that all pack for 5th until a few laps before the pit cycle. Water Arrow in 9th, Banana 8th. Philo's from the back of Rucky here. We've seen Ando is sitting pretty in 4th, 2nd in his class. But Jishi in 2nd overall, leading his class. Is essentially last first his category. And being only 7 seconds behind Nif with still about 12 laps to go. If he starts catching him, he could potentially last first the entire race categories. So in a big recovery drive as well, because you got Fozzie there up in 5th now. And he's 2.5 behind Ando, so another potential spot for him. Sways, you're having an absolute shocker. This track not for me. It's all good, bro. We have those tracks, don't we? We've all got tracks we can't do, we just don't like. Tracks that are cursed. It's all good. Up a little bit more damage there. So Jishi's now picked up half a second on Nif since we were last with those 2 guys. Do you think he's going to manage to catch Niffy down, Niffo? Sheesh, definitely not letting Nif get away with it. Steve-O sitting in 3rd. Ando's now got Fozzie on the back of him. Good see. Fozzie make up another move tonight, get another position. Another thing we've noticed about these Subarus is you're not using the entire rev range. They are shifting quite low down. Anders just popped out of the way of Fozzie there. He's opting not to fight. Foz just driving away a little bit now from Mando. Philo and Rucky are still together, but Banana's now coming up towards them, slowly catching up to the back of these two. After a not ideal start, can we see Banana get up there? It's like your closest battle on track 2. Eight laps to go. Rucky's just over his front, just over half of his front right-hand tyre. Philo's used about a third of that front right-hand tyre. Banana's used about half. Philo's been nice on his tyres during this. Hasn't managed to get past Rucky again. Now Banana's slowly closing the gap. Foz's got the fastest lap of the race with 1:10.7. We've seen him make his way back up to 4th after a horrible start. We've seen Jishi start last on the grid. He's managed to drive his way up to 2nd, slowly reining in Niffy. Banana's had some sort of incident. Was lower down early in the race. He's now about to insert himself into this battle for 6th that's going on here between Rucky and Philo. Go around and we'll look at everyone's tyre situation now that we're coming up to the last handful of laps. If he's just under half of his front right-hand tyre, he's got about a third of a tank of fuel left. You see a car ahead of him getting blue flagged. Jishi has used about half of his front right-hand tyre, similar fuel and tyre numbers to him. Hasn't been able to rein Niff in much more, hasn't really lost him either. You've got Steve O.C. in 3rd overall, 2nd in his category. He's almost used all of that front right-hand tyre. He's only got about a quarter left. It's going to be very hard for him in the closing stages of this race because we've got Foz behind them. He's used quite a lot of that front right-hand tyre too. Still, even with the wear, he's used. Even with the wear, he is very quick. Still sitting in those 10s and 11s where Steve-O's been hovering into the 12s now as well. Ando's 5th overall, 2nd in his category. And Philo just behind now, who's managed to get past Ruckus. So Philo's managed to get past Ruckus, and Banana's now in tow. Both cars ahead. Not doing great on his tyres. Banana and Philo are doing much better. Snorks looking after his tyres well. That'll get him home to the end of the race. Water Arrow looks like he has hit it again in the last few laps. So he's definitely got the tyres to make it home. McNova's the one getting blue flagged here by Niffy as Niffy slowly creeps his way up to the back of McNova. He's sitting in 11th. He's got good tyres. He's on the two-stop strategy. Matty Smacker, he's got about a third of that front right-hand tyre left. Still sitting in 12th. He's got about 45 seconds behind him. Here's Goju, who had a shocking start to the race. But he's left his head down. He's managed to take advantage of Slay's not having a good race either. Getting down, getting his mandatory laps and finishing the race with points. So Rucky's now just come to Banana, so we'll see if we can catch that on replay. We've just missed it. But the move was made well before the straight there. So Banana's managed to take advantage of Rucky's tyre situation. Philo's driven off from these guys. See if Fozzie's reined in a few more tenths here on Steve-O. So I've got Banana just about a second and a half behind Philo here, trying to rein in that gap. We've only got about 4 or 5 laps left, so now's the time to go balls to the wall and go all out, try and make up those spots if you can.
This stock market crash is not good. It looks like we got Banana in 7th, Philo in 6th, guys. There's a bit of a battle happening here. I'm not sure if I can hear Friday. I don't know if he's dropped out, what the go is.
Can you hear me?
Oh, you're back.
Oh, was I out that whole time?
Yeah, you were.
Oh.
Yeah, couldn't hear you.
Thought I fixed it. I've been sitting here talking to myself.
Nah.
Alright. So yeah, we've had a bit of a battle brewing here. We've got Ando in 5th, Philo in 6th, Banana in 7th. So Banana's slowly been making his way back up to Philo. Rucky's dropped off the back of this paddle.
It might be the share screen, man.
Yeah?
I reckon.
We'll figure
Just
it out.
try, maybe if you cancel that share screen off, and then see if, how it comes through.
Is that better now? I've stopped it?
Yep. I
All
can't
right.
hear it going. So that was our issue.
Woohoo! Only took us an entire race to fix it, but there we go. Alright, a couple of laps left. We'll run through the pack. So we've got Niffy in 1st, leading by the tune of almost 10 seconds to G-Shear, but a very similar gap back to Steve-O there in 3rd. Fozzie is now 3.5 seconds behind Steve-O, but he has cooked his front right-hand tyre. Still amazingly keeping it in the 11s for most of his laps. So, dropped out to a 12 now. Ando is sitting in 5th, Philo in 6th, Banana in 7th, Rucky in 8th, Snorksy 9th, Arrow 10th, McNova 11th, Matty Smacker in 12th. Goju in 13th and Sways in 14th there. A few moments left, a few laps left. Got Niffy coming around. He's about to start his final lap. Bananas now within a second of Philo here. So Banana potentially could have a late race move. Interesting now, Foz has lost all grip in that front right-hand tyre, and Ando's still got a third of a tyre left here, so we could see Ando potentially getting Foz on his last lap. And he's done it.
Yeah, he's caught him pretty rapid there, Foz. He could be in trouble from Philo and Banana here too.
So Ando gets the move done, manages to jump up into 4th spot now. Fozzie, a wounded animal, 3 seconds behind him is Philo now. And we'll get into this infield section and we'll see that time drop off from Foz ahead very quickly. Philo will see that and start licking his lips. Look at that, a second lost on that first corner already. So we'll have to see what happens with this.
He's gonna catch him, I think. He's gonna be very close, Philo. But I don't know whether he's gonna have enough turns to get a move done here.
Well, he's got 3 more turns to do it. I don't think he's going to get it. He's going to have to be very close. So we've had Niffy come across the line in first place. We've got Jishi now coming across in second, first in his category. So great comeback drive from him for starting last on the grid. Stevo is coming around. He's going to be your 3rd place. Well done him. That's 2nd for his category. Ando in 4th, also 2nd for his category. Very patient race, good tyre wear. Fozzie manages to just hold out Philo here for 5th overall, but both these men get 3rd in their categories. So Fozzie 3rd in all-wheel drive, 5th overall. Philo 6th overall, 3rd in front-wheel drive. And then we've got Banana, Rucky down in 8th. Snorksy's just about to finish. He's going to finish in 9th spot. Then we've got Water Arrows going to finish in 10th. You've got Macanova, who has finished a lap down in 11th. Matty Smacker, he's finished his race as well. You've got Goju, who's about to finish, and then Sways in last. So it's Nif 1st, Jishi 2nd, Stevo 3rd. Apologies about the mic issues, but that was race 1. So, and we've had Aussie say that he was interested in race 2, so we've got at least 5 people for race 2. So anyone in chat that wants to race?
The race 2 lobby is open. As we know, Brucey can't join you Friday, so I have opened up the race 2 lobby. So we are looking for G Mackie, Senna, Brucey and Aussie to come in here. If you can save that replay and upload it, that would be great. And in the meantime, when you're ready, you can jump over here.
Well, I'll save the replay and I'll upload it after the broadcast, so we're not waiting for it. And I accidentally shared it. I just said I wasn't going to do that.
No, you're all good. So,
gives them a few minutes to jump in, get themselves sorted. Anyone in chat that wants to race in race 2 and hasn't put in a qualifying time, you're welcome to come and jump in. It was an impressive drive from Foz there, Nakedy. Very impressive drive from Foz. Not sure exactly what happened, but something happened early on in that race and it threw a few spanners in the works, and then Brocky ended up being disconnected.
I think from what the after race chat was, there was a coming together between the 2 BSR cars that caused Brocky to hit the wall at turn 2, and Nif had nowhere to go. So there was a collision there, unfortunately, from what I've heard. And Brocky just had quite a large number of repairs to do. Thought he would give it a miss tonight. So yeah.
So he
There
did
we
the
go.
Kimi Raikkonen thing. Instead of going and sitting on his yacht, he went up and folded out a chair and pulled out a beer and watched the race instead.
That's it. So
No, a lot more cars opted for the one stop than I thought. I hadn't run any long testing, so I wasn't sure which one was optimal. But it seemed like those Subarus suffered on their front right-hand tyres more than everyone else.
all right. So if it's just you, we're just waiting on you, are we, Friday?
Yeah.
Well, we
Yeah.
might start this qualifying session,
Yeah.
and by the time you get here, we'll be good to go for the race.
Yeah. It's pretty much 30% done at the moment, so by the time you're done quali, it should be
It usually
done.
goes a bit slow at the start, then it takes off. Uh, So this one will fire off at 9:03 p.m. guys.
Alright, here we've got Brucey, Mackie, Aussie, Giffo and Senna.
Alright guys, it's 9:03, so we'll send this one. Good luck all. I'll just go full game audio, so you're all good Friday.
Yep. Good luck. Alright, we are about to kick off race 2. Only 5 drivers here, but we'll see how the action unfolds tonight. So we see the lights start counting down momentarily. Got Brucey leading the way from Mackie, Aussie, Giffo and then Senna at the back, but Senna will have an absolutely amazing launch tonight. Ooh, that car was very bouncy off the start. As you see, Aussie gets an amazing launch done. It's done. Senna's now up to second before turn 1 here. Brucey's now in third with G Mackie on the back of him, and Giffo's now down in fifth. There's a big slide through turn 1 there. So Aussie currently leading the way over Senna. And then you got this 3-way battle back here for third now. So G Mackie's managed to make a move on Brucey there, and Giffo's right up the back of him. Go on board with Giffo at the moment. See, Aussie has started to drive away from this bunch. First keeping in touch with Brucey here. So that's lap 1 done. And your new order is Aussie, Senna, Mackie, Brucey and Giffo. This battle for second that's now brewing. You've got Senna in second with G Mackie all over him. Brucey and Giffo combined behind as we look at Giffo making a potential lunge into this corner here. Pulls it up early, thinks better of it. Aussie's still out in the lead. These cars are still super close together. See a bit of a kiss of the wall from some of them. So the very green car there of Aussie in his little Spotify AMG leading the way. We've got Senna with a little bit of lag there in second in the only GR Toyota in the series. We've got G Mackie sitting in third in the Ford Brucey in the Volkswagen in 4th, and Giffo's just hanging on the back of his pack here in 5th. Quite a bit of lag from Senna there. That'd be hard to race against. Just jump back on board with Giffo, who is at the back of this pack as Senna's made a mistake. Oh, what's going on? He's still there, no mistake made, just a lot of lag. So you got G Mackie now is fighting with Senna for 2nd. Senna runs it into the wall pretty hard. He's jumping into the pits now. So he must have picked up some damage. So Aussie is still in 1st now, away from G Mackie, Brucey and Giffo. He is just lifting at the end of the straight. Car gets a bit unsettled in the entry of turn 1, and then it's very settled on the exit. You got Brucey chasing down Mackie here for potential 2nd. You can see Aussie off in the distance a little bit, sitting in 1st. Bruce's got a very nice line through that last corner there. He's managed to pick up a 10th on G Mackie already. He's right in that optimal slipstream range. Has a look down the inside. He backs out of it. He's off the throttle on the brakes very light. Doesn't want to unsettle the car there into turn 1. As you see Mackie's get a little bit unsettled mid-corner. Mackie's using all of the track to stay ahead, and Brucey's just coasting behind, trying to keep the pressure on. Senna's out of the pits now, well far back from these top 4. Aussie is still your race leader over G Mackie, Brucey, Giffo and Senna. See, Brucey is still on the back of Giffo here, not G Mackie. He's right there. He's just keeping the pressure on. He's looking after those tyres, looking after that fuel. And Giffo's not far behind these guys. He's ready to take advantage of whatever mistakes either one of them make. Brucey getting a nice run there as we see him do the exact same thing. He lets off the throttle, he brakes very lightly into this turn 1. He's got more fuel and more tyres left compared to G Mackie ahead, not by much, but it's still early going. It'll definitely make a difference later on in the race. He can maintain the gap at the moment to G Mackie and just hold on. G Mackie's tyres are going to go before Brucey's, and that means Brucey will get more laps in the optimal times for that tyre than Mackie, and that's where he'll make up the spot on track. And Giffo's closed in the gap a little bit onto the back of these guys, so he's looking to insert himself in here for 2nd spot. And got Aussie up ahead, sitting in 1st still. G Mackie 2nd. Brucey we're on board with now, so watch him fighting G Mackie with Giffo slowly trying to rein them in at the back there. And then Senna's well off the back of these guys there in 5th. Only 5 runners tonight in race 2. Still they're keeping it very tight, very close together. As Brucey looks at making an inside move potentially, or has he done the exact same thing he's done each and every lap before? It's just backed out of the throttle, worried about making it in and out of that corner right. Brucey now goes purple this lap. So Brucey's still on the back of G Mackie here as he sets the purple time for the race of 1 minute 12.9. He actually makes that inside move attempt now. G Mackie's held position around the outside though. Looks like Brucey got a little bit unsettled coming into the corner there. You've got Giffo not far behind these guys, ready to take advantage of either one of their mistakes. Just go through now, we're on the 8th lap. So we can safely say Senna's pit once already. He's equal to Aussie's tyres, who hasn't pit yet, who has got the best tyres out of everyone. Brucey not far behind Aussie in tyre, where he's only used a little bit more of that front right hand tyre, but G Mackie would be out of that optimal zone at the moment, so would Giffo. So this could be a potential part of the race where we see Brucey's car get really quick. Compared to those other cars around him, he's going to be quicker on track as we see him think about that move again into turn 1. Definitely looking very racy here, Brucey. So he's made a mistake and he's dropped back a little bit. Giffer's now 1.2 behind Brucey here. So Giffer absolutely revving the shit out of the car. Senna sitting in the last spot at the moment. Giffo in 4th, attempting to chase down the battle, which is for 2nd at the moment with G Mackie and Brucey. Then we've got Aussie maintaining that 3 and a bit second lead ahead. Jumped into 1st place at the start of the race and hasn't looked back. He is leading the boys at the moment. Brucey carries a bit of speed coming out of that last corner there. He's only 2 tenths behind Mackie. He's in prime position to make this inside move work. Much better tyres than Mackie. Mackie's going to be suffering at the moment. As you can see, he makes the move and he makes it stick and work. So they both tap that wall on the exit. So Brucey moves up to 2nd place. Brucey's up to 2nd place now. Mackie in 3rd. Giffo is still in 4th. Eyeing this little battle off ahead of him. Wanting to get involved. Not quite getting there though. Senna sitting in last after an early pit stop. And Aussie's shot up to 1st after the start of the race and hasn't looked back since. He's now leading to the tune of about 4 seconds. He's got the best tyres out of the bunch. Brucey's got the best fuel out of the bunch. And Senna's got the most damage out of the bunch. So we see Giffo come into the pits now. Scheduled pit stop for him. He's going to be running a 2-stop strategy. Wouldn't surprise me if we see Mackie come in the next lap. Giffo manages to pop out ahead of centre there. Brucey with much better tyres than G Mackie. Aussie's still the best on the tyres though, he's done very well. It's going to be very hard to beat if he manages to stay on pace. Keep that to look after those tyres to manage that 1-stop strategy well. He could be in potential win for race 2 here. Brucey sitting in second, really good fuel number there. He hasn't even used half a tank of fuel yet. Just a little bit worse on his tyres. We see G Mackie now come in just under half a tank of fuel. Cooked right hand front tyre. So Giffo came in the lap before. So Giffo's made the move through the pit stop there. Giffo's now promoted himself up to 3rd place in the race. He's now got G Mackie about 2 seconds behind as he warms his tyres up and gets back up to speed. Aussie's about 4 seconds ahead of Brucey, who has not pit yet. It looks like he's on a potential 1-stop strategy here. Doing very well on his tyre wear. He's doing very well on his fuel. Aussie's made some kind of mistake there. So what's happened to Aussie? He's just cooked it through that last corner there. He's picked up some damage. Star went to turn the car and couldn't turn the car now. He's under threat from Brucey. Brucey's holding the inside. Aussie maintains it around the outside. So Brucey now in hot contention for taking over the lead as Aussie's just made a mistake into turn 1. Coming out of the final turn. Leaves him a little bit vulnerable. He's carrying a little bit of damage there. So Brucey's used just over half a tank of fuel now. He's got slightly worse tyres than Aussie. Aussie would be vulnerable here, carrying some damage on the front end of his car. Means that this last half of the straight's not going to be his friend at all. Brucey now inserts himself in a 1st spot. Then looking at the mini-map behind them, you've got Giffo, who's out to a few second lead over G Mackie now, with these two 1st and 2nd about to come up on Senna. I think Senna ahead will start getting shown the blue flags in a lap or 2. So you got Brucey still leading this race over Aussie in a close second, who's carrying some damage and doing very well to maintain that gap between him and Brucey. He's still looking a lot better on the tyres as well. So potentially see these guys coming into the pits the next couple of laps. You've got Giffo, who's now halfway through his 2-stop stint strategy. Same with G-Mackie, 3.5 seconds behind, sitting there in 4th. They're both on the 2-stop strategy, the 2 Fords. And then Senna is just starting his 16th lap as Brucey and Aussie are finishing their 16th lap. So not the greatest of races there from Senna, but he's still keeping his foot in it. Does not want to get lapped by these guys. Just right on board with Aussie for a few moments here. I expect these guys to be pitting in the next, possibly within the next 3 laps. So we're just right on board with Aussie here. It's your closest battle on track. Aussie as he's chasing down Brucey after taking the lead off him only a couple of laps ago. So we see it looks like Senna's now just getting lapped by Aussie and Brucey. Got Giffo about 22 seconds back from the lead, 23 seconds back from the lead at the moment on 2-stop strategy. So he just sends it a bit wide. He does good to hold on to it, but that's going to allow G-Mackie to gain about half a second off him overall from that mistake. G-Mackie is now about 2.2 behind Giffo here. The 2 Fords both on a very similar strategy. You've got G-Mackie running a higher fuel number at the moment than Giffo, so that will shorten his last pit stop, which will be coming up in about 6-7 laps. As Brucey and Aussie are both in the pits now, so you'll find Brucey will have a less of a refuel, but Aussie's really kind to those tyres, so if he can go this next whole stint without damage and keep on to Brucey's tail, at the end of that stint, Aussie will be faster than Brucey. Alright, Aussie pulls up, they get the tyres off the car now. He's just taking on his fuel load, he's got that front end damage to fix up. There we go, he's brimmed the tank most of the way. And because of that damage fix and that fuel difference, Brucey's 3/4 filled his tank and he's come out 8 seconds ahead of Aussie. So I'm going to say he's probably jumped about 6 seconds on him in the pits in just refuel and not having to fix that damage. So that was a big boy play there from Brucey, and he is only on the back of Giffo and G-Mackie now, who they've already pitted, but they're going to be pitting again soon, so they're vulnerable at the moment. They're starting to lose speed out of their cars with the tyre wear that's going on at the moment. And Brucey's out right behind him with a fresh set of tyres on, and he's managed to look after his tyres very well this race. So he's on a different strategy. They've both got to pit again, so he knows he's going to get an extra 20-30 seconds on them from where they are now. His battle's going to be with Aussie, the car 8 seconds behind. And we've got Senna back in 5th at the moment. So Giffo has now become vulnerable to G-Mackie, as we see G-Mackie having, even though he's carrying a bit more fuel, he's got a little bit better tyres there. Giffo not doing so well on his tyres. He will have to get probably another 2 laps out of that set to be able to make it home comfortably, or does he pit now and have a really bad car at the end, potentially? Big bit of a jump. 2 wheels there by Giffo as he came onto the transition from the infield track to the banked outfield track as they go back into the infield now. G-Mackie is looking very racy over all the back of Giffo there, with Brucey is just getting bigger and bigger in the picture. Giffo and G-Mackie are both on the 2-stop strategy. Brucey's on the 1-stop strategy, so he doesn't really have to fight them on track too much. He knows they've both got to pit again. He can probably tell just by sitting behind him that he's doing much better in all those right-hand turns than they are, as we see Senna come in the pits now for his potential last stop of the race. Giffo's maintained the lead at the moment. G-Mackie is sitting behind him in 7th, but Brucey is right on the back of G-Mackie here. See, Senna's behind this pack here. He is a lap down, 2 laps down now. See, Giffo just makes a mistake, drops a tyre into the grass. Let's let G-Mackie past. Brucey's now right on the back of Giffo. So Giffo's struggling with those tyres at the moment. G-Mackie is too, to be honest. So Senna brings himself into the conversation now. He is down, he is blue flags, but if he is faster, you could potentially see him go for a nice, safe overtake somewhere. Giffo's really struggling now. You can see him losing time on all those all those left-hand corners, as Brucey's got a lot better traction coming out of that last corner there. Manages to make the move done here on Giffo. Giffo's going to tuck in behind. He's sitting on his fuel light. He knows he's only got about a lap left in the car before he has to pit. His tyre would be screaming to him for the last 2 laps, get me off, get me off. We've got G-Mackie, effective leader at the moment. Brucey sitting in 2nd, who will be the leader once they all do their pit cycle. Giffo is just really struggling on those tyres. Mackie would be as well, as Brucey's looking to make a move down the inside here. He knows he's got the better tyre, so he can brake later and he can really hook it in that turn. Thinks a bit better of it, pulls it up. Giffo's got him right to the back of these guys again. So I think we'll see G-Mackie and Giffo into the pits this lap. So we do. Both Fords go in. Brucey stays out as expected. So yeah, just waiting for the 2 Fords to come in. G-Mackie with the higher fuel number there. That's a couple of seconds in the pits that he's going to gain. Just on board here with Giffo. Tyres are changed. Cars dropped. Fuel's going in. G-Mackie's out of the pit already. So he's gone from 1.4 behind G-Mackie to now 6 seconds. So that big fuel save, or that fuel taken earlier, has helped G-Mackie clear Giffo for the last stint here. So you got Brucey, Aussie, Mackie, Giffo and Senna. That's your order here for this race. You got Brucey now 16 seconds ahead of Aussie, who's sitting in 2nd place, who's got G-Mackie about 8 seconds behind him. And then about 5 seconds back is Giffo, and then Senna. Right back from that, Senna being a lap down on the field now. Early incident forced him to pit. So G-Mac is slowly making some inroads on Aussie. It's now under 8 seconds, the gap between them. G-Mac and Giffo, both the Fords, have been struggling with late stint tyre wear issues. Car's just chewing a little bit more of that tight front right-hand tyre than they probably want to. It's translating to slower lap times because with the new physics now, as we all know, that soft tyre is not a proper race tyre. There is a line that it drops off, and when it drops off, it doesn't drop off the cliff, it jumps, cannonballs down, smashes the water underneath. It's horrible. So Aussie's on some worn tyres there. He is another one stopper, just like Brucey ahead. They're both identical on their tyre wear, but Aussie's carrying a little bit more fuel at the moment. We've seen Brucey really look after his fuel number, so Aussie will get through that fuel. He's got enough to get home. It's enough fuel and tyre in those cars to get home. Senna may need to potentially pit again based on that tyre wear, but it looks like he possibly has enough fuel to make it to the end of the race. So you see G-Mackie take another second out of Aussie, who's now not that far ahead. So Brucey's rolled out to a massive 17-second lead at the moment. G-Mackie's brought it down now to under 6 seconds, so G-Mackie is on a charge. G-Mackie pushing that car to its absolute limits, trying to catch up to Aussie ahead. Sitting in third spot at the moment with Giffo, probably about 7.5 seconds behind last we looked. There's Aussie up ahead, so Aussie was 6 seconds last time we checked the timings. I believe that's probably come down a bit now. Mackie really quick in this focus at the moment. So Mackie really putting the pedal to the metal. He's got that Ford by the ring of its neck. He's shaking it. So there is only 2 more rounds of the TCR to go after this race. So we're just on board here with Mackie as he attempts to chase down Aussie 4-second spot. We'll just go through. We've got Autopolis short track next week for 33 laps. And then after that, we've got Suzuka East for 36 laps. So 2 more tracks to come. Only 2 rounds left of the Jamco TCR Cup. We've got 33 laps at Autopolis short track next week. Autopolis is one of those tracks where personally I forget it exists, and then we get there and I go, oh, this one. Starting to get a bit slidey. Let's check on the times now. He's now reeled in 2 seconds on Aussie since we've checked the times. Giffo is in the pits again. Looks like he may have picked up some damage. Yep, he has some splitter damage to sort out. May as well throw a new set of softs on and absolutely send it for the race. Senna is still in 5th at the moment. So we've got Brucey, who's in the lead by the tune of 18 seconds over Aussie at the moment, who's sitting in 2nd with a good performance. And you've got Mackie 4.5 seconds off the back of Aussie here, sitting in 3rd. Then we've got Giffo, who's now almost 40 seconds behind Mackie. He's had to do an extra pit stop because of damage. So he will reel some of that time back in being on a fresh set of tyres, but he's probably not going to catch Mackie in the 6 laps that he'll have left. And we've got Senna in last. So he's only been lapped once. There's Brucey, and then just behind, coming out of that same corner now, is Senna. So he was lapped a little bit more than that at one point, so he has made a little bit of ground back. But your leader at the moment is Big Bruce the Shark, or Brucey as he's known. One of the only few drivers, there's only 2 or 3 drivers potentially that are driving that Volkswagen Golf. I was expecting to see a lot more people in the Golf. That would have been my pick for the front wheel drive class if we went front wheel drive. So Brucey now 19 seconds up the road in the lead of Aussie, who's got G-Mackie still closing in. So these boys will have 5 laps left now. 5 laps left, and Mackie has 3.5 seconds to gain on Aussie. We know Aussie's been very good on that tyre wear. So Aussie's done the 1 stop, and his tyres are now in a better position than G-Mackie's. G-Mackie's been pushing to get up there, and he's starting to use them. You'll start feeling that effect with how worn they are now. Every right-hand corner will be fine. Every left-hand corner will not. He's going to start to suffer and lose some time. So Aussie's in a very good position now because he's got the better tyres on that car. That time delta may stop coming down as much. They've just completed another lap essentially, and it's still 3.5 seconds the gap between them. So I don't think Mackie can catch up anymore. Giffo's out on a fresh set after being forced to pit for some damage. So he could, he's got the fastest lap for 1 minute 12.6 at the moment. Could he be looking to try and better that? And then Senna, he's just been lapped. He's not that far off the lead car. But yeah, 1 lap down. Absolute disaster at the start for him. And it's just put him in a bad spot the whole race. He's managed to sit there and maintain that gap now. So if he didn't have all that luck at the start that didn't go his way, he could be potentially in a battle for these positions up ahead of him. So it's Brucey, Aussie, Mackie, Giffo and Senna is our grid order at the moment. Aussie's lost another couple of tenths in the G-Mackie battle, but he's still in a very, very comfortable position here. He's still got just over 3 seconds behind him to G-Mackie, and he's about to cross the line with 3 laps to go. So unless G-Mackie can pull in a second a lap, or Aussie has a major off, I think Aussie's cemented a second spot there. That striking green metallic Spotify car. Does very well on his tyre wear in race 2 all the time. Been watching it for a while. So incredibly well on his tyre saving. And G Mackey's now brought in that to within 3 seconds. The Valvoline car sitting in third at the moment, about 22 seconds behind the lead of Brucey. About 2.5 seconds back from Aussie here. He has been gaining a lot of time on Aussie over this stint since he came out of the pits. Mackey on a 2-stop strategy, Aussie on a 1. But as we can see, Mackey's front right-hand tyre is absolutely shot. He's going to be hating life, where Aussie's is in a much, much better position. Giffo hasn't been able to better his fastest lap. He had to come into the pits to fix some damage, opted for a fresh set of tyres. Thought we'd see a potential fast lap out of the car being on very low fuel. And Senna at the back. So Brucey with a commanding drive slowly made his way up the field. And then unfortunately Aussie picked up some damage in the second half of that first stint, and Brucey was able to get the lead and gain a couple of seconds on him. And with the fuel save that we see Brucey do week in and week out, he managed to gain even more time in the pits. So very tactical and very well done drive there. Go on Aussie, says Stiggy. How you going, Stig? Welcome in. You caught us right at the end here of race 2. We did a full broadcast tonight of race 1 and race 2, and I don't think anyone could hear me for the majority of race 1. I was sitting here talking to myself, making a new friend that I didn't know I had. You see Aussie go a bit deep into the brakes there, pulls it up, gets out of the corner quick. So Mackey will find a little bit of time there. So here we are, we've got Brucey starting his final lap now. So that's Brucey there, coming across the line for his final lap. And here's Aussie about to start his final lap. So no one's really close enough to make a move. Aussie started to stretch that gap. It was down to under 3 seconds. It's now closer to 3.5 seconds. So Mackey's lost that pace late in his stint. We said something about it earlier. The focuses on track, they look like they absolutely chew through that tyre, and that's going to cost them in the last few laps of their stints, and this is what's showing here. So the Aussies just slowly gaining 10th after 10th after 10th. As G-Mac is suffering from his tyre wear, Aussie's putting the time on. So we're going to have Brucey 19 seconds ahead of Aussie here. He's going to come around for the win. Very consistent lap times, very good fuel and tyre management. As we see him flash the lights, well-deserved victory from Brucey. Nice tactical victory there. He managed to hit all of his markers. He was calm and patient. We've seen him try and make a move into turn 1. Well, not try and make a move, but put it in the mind of the car ahead that he wanted to make a move. And backed out of it almost every time for like a good 12 laps before he did it. So well done, Brucey. Aussie, great drive there. Finishes in second. G-Mackey will come across the line in third. And we have Giffo with some handbrakies at the moment. He's going to finish the race, wishing he had Macca's trays under the back of that the car. Yeah, so Brucey with a nice commanding drive to come first. Aussie with a great drive to come second. I think the only major thing that happened to him was picking up damage in that second half of his first stint. He was leading the race for at least a third of that race there, so very well done to him. Would have been about a dozen laps or so he led the race for. And then we had G-Mackey come in third with a late race charge, the first of the 2 stoppers. We have Giffo here showing you how not to treat a Ford. But yeah, Giffo with the handbrakies across the line in 4th place. So it seemed like the Fords chewed through their front tyres compared to everyone else.
They did. Thank you for doing the commentary tonight, Friday.
Oh, I was just saying, just before you finished the race, I made a new friend in myself and I didn't know it was me. Speaking to myself for half the night. All good. Alright.
I'll upload this replay and then I'm going to hit the fart sack. Looks like we've got a bit to unpack from race 1 tomorrow.
Yeah, it looks like something's happened early on in the race. We'll have to, the stewards will have to go through and assess everything that's happened, and I'm sure we'll hear from them in the coming days.
100%.
Alright, well, we're going to raid out at the moment. That's all the racing done for tonight. We've got 2 rounds left. Coming up next week, we have the Autopolis Short for 33 laps. So is that on random weather as well?
That is correct.
So it could potentially rain.
Could potentially rain.
Yes. So that could be an interesting one. And we'll also have race 2 and race 1 having different weather patterns. So it might rain in one and not the other. But yeah, thanks guys for tuning in. And we are going to raid out to Mr. Chad Rice. Not playing Gran Turismo, but we love him anyway. So go over, say hey, tickle his bits. You know what to do. We love Mr. Chatty. All right, thank you guys.